Imagine a small electric car that looks playful, feels surprisingly premium, sends power to the rear wheels, offers enough space for 5 people, and became the best-selling vehicle in China in 2025 with nearly 466,000 units sold. Sounds hard to believe for a compact city car, right? Well, this is the Geely EX2, and today we're going to find out why this little EV has created such a big impression. At first glance, the EX2 immediately stands out with its rounded, modern design. Instead of trying to look aggressive like many electric cars, Geely has gone for a cleaner and friendlier appearance. The smooth front end, slim headlights, compact proportions, black roof, flush-style details and short overhangs give it a distinctive personality. And because there is no traditional gasoline engine under the hood, the front design can be much cleaner and more aerodynamic. But don't let its small size fool you. The EX2 is designed as a proper 5-door, 5-seat electric car, and its clever packaging is one of its biggest strengths. It measures around 4,135 millimeters in length, 805 millimeters in width, and about 1,580 millimeters in height, with a wheelbase of roughly 2,650 millimeters. That wheelbase is particularly impressive for a car of this size because it allows Geely to create a surprisingly usable cabin without making the vehicle difficult to drive or park in crowded cities. And here's something even more interesting. Geely has focused heavily on storage. Depending on the market and specification, the EX2 can offer a front trunk with around 70 liters of additional space, while the rear luggage area provides roughly 375 liters, expanding to around 1,220 liters with the rear seats folded. So although this car is designed primarily for urban driving, it isn't just a stylish electric toy. It can actually handle everyday shopping, luggage, and family duties. Now, let's talk about what really matters in an EV. The electric powertrain. The EX2 uses a single permanent magnet electric motor driving the rear wheels. Depending on the version and market, outputs include around 60 kilowatts for the entry model and up to 85 kilowatts for higher specifications, with torque around 150 newton-meters. That may not sound like supercar performance, but that's not what the EX2 is trying to be. Its mission is instant response, smooth acceleration, low running costs, and effortless city driving. And because the motor drives the rear wheels, the EX2 has something many affordable small EVs don't offer: rear-wheel drive. That can make the driving experience feel more balanced and engaging, especially around corners and during acceleration. Performance depends on the version. Some specifications quote a 0 to 100 km per hour, time of around 14.2 seconds, while the more powerful version can do it in roughly 11.5 seconds. Top speed is around 130 kilometers per hour in several specifications. Again, this isn't a performance machine, but for city streets, daily commuting, and normal highway driving, the power delivery should feel smooth and immediate. Now here's where things get particularly interesting. The battery. Different versions of the EX2 are offered with different battery sizes. Some specifications use a battery around 35 kilowatt-hours, while higher versions can use batteries around 40 to 47 kilowatt-hours. Range also changes depending on the testing standard and market. For example, one Australian specification offers up to 252 kilometers of WLTP range, while the larger battery version reaches around 345 kilometers ULTP. Other markets quote figures as high as 395 kilometers under the NEDC cycle. And that difference is important. If you see different range numbers for the EX2 online, it doesn't automatically mean one of them is wrong. Different battery versions and testing standards can produce very different official figures. Charging is another strong point. Higher spec versions can support DC fast charging, with some specifications quoting a 30 to 80% charging time of around 25 minutes. That means a relatively short charging stop can add a useful amount of range before you continue your journey. Some versions also support vehicle-to-load functionality, allowing the battery to provide power to external electrical devices. Step inside and the EX2 becomes even more interesting. The cabin focuses heavily on technology, with an approximately 14.6-inch central touchscreen and an 8.8-inch digital instrument display available in certain specifications. Depending on the market, features can include wireless smartphone connectivity, wireless charging, ambient lighting, connected vehicle functions, and a modern infotainment system. Higher versions can also offer heated front seats, a heated steering wheel, and a power tailgate. But technology isn't the only story. Geely has also paid attention to safety. Depending on specification, the EX2 can feature adaptive cruise control, automatic emergency braking, lane departure warning, a rear-view camera, and a range of driver assistance technologies. Some versions even offer a 540-degree transparent chassis camera system designed to help the driver understand what's happening around and beneath the vehicle. And then there's the price. Pricing varies dramatically from country to country because of taxes, equipment, and local market positioning. In Australia, for example, the EX2 has been introduced from around 26,490 Australian dollars before on-road costs, while higher versions cost more. In other markets, prices can be very different. But perhaps the most impressive statistic isn't the price, the range, or even the technology. It's the fact that this compact EV became China's best-selling vehicle, outright in 2025. Not simply the best-selling electric car. Nearly 466,000 examples were sold during that year. That's a huge achievement for a relatively small electric hatchback and shows just how strong demand for affordable, practical EVs has become. So, who is the Geely EX2 really for? It's for someone who wants an affordable electric car without sacrificing practicality. It's for city drivers who want something compact and easy to park, but still want 5 seats. It's for buyers who appreciate modern technology but don't necessarily need a huge SUV. And with rear-wheel drive, multiple battery options, and a surprisingly spacious interior, it offers more character than you might expect from an entry-level EV. The EX2 may not be the fastest electric car, it may not have the longest range in the EV world, and it certainly isn't trying to compete with luxury performance models. Instead, it takes a much smarter approach. Give everyday drivers the things they actually use, package them into a stylish body, keep the dimensions manageable, and make electric mobility more accessible. And that may be exactly why this little Geely has become such a huge success. So after looking at the design, interior, technology, performance, range, charging, and practicality, one question remains. Is the Geely EX2 the affordable EV that could challenge the established names in the small electric car market? Judging by its incredible sales success, the answer might be a very interesting yes. If you enjoyed this complete look at the Geely EX2, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and turn on notifications because more new cars, electric vehicles, and detailed automotive reviews are coming your way. And remember, sometimes the biggest revolution in the car industry doesn't arrive in a huge SUV or an expensive sports car. Sometimes it arrives in a small, stylish electric car like this one.